Hey friends, it's Sean from Evergreen Organics. I just wanted to refilm this intro for the video I'm going to put out. This video has been a big learning curve for me. I do not know anything about cameras or computers or videography, so it's been kind of a frustrating day of trying to successfully film this video. So like my whole intro that I'd filmed before, I had it in manual focus and it was out of focus, and I think the most important thing for me in trying to do this YouTube channel is that I just keep creating content, and I want this content to get better and better as I get more practice, but it's going to be a little rough here in the beginning, so if you guys can stick with me, I just want to keep making content. My goal is to make quality content that people that don't necessarily know me are going to enjoy and learn from. I've learned so much from YouTube that the least I can do is give back a little bit of some of the stuff that I've learned over the years about small-scale sustainable agriculture, that I feel like I do have things to offer to the YouTube community, and so here I am. But anyways, this is me refilming the intro. We are doing brine fermented pickling today. I had hot sauce that I've been fermenting for like 9 months, and so we're doing hot sauce bottling, and it should be some really cool stuff. Like I said, it's not the highest quality video production today, but I think the content is alright, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks. Alright guys, pretty sure I just filmed that whole last segment out of focus. This has been a big learning curve for me. I don't know anything about cameras or cinematography. I'm just a guy who has some big dreams, and I bought a camera and I said, let's start a YouTube channel. I think I have some stuff to offer to people that want to live life a little bit more sustainably, so you guys that are following the channel are just going to have to learn with me as I go. It's really been a big learning curve trying to figure out how to use this camera. When we were doing hay, I accidentally spent almost an entire day filming in 8 times slow motion. I don't know if you guys saw the last video. Hay season is here, but there's a lot of slow-mo in that video, and that's why. So we're going to keep going. If I cut out the last segment, I'll show you guys real quick. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. This is the saltwater brine fermented hot sauce that I've been making for a couple years now. It's a big hit. The more mild stuff that I've made, I can't even keep it here. People just go crazy for it. So these right here, guys, if you want to do home food processing and you want to kind of mimic doing it in a more efficient scale like they do in commercial kitchens, my wonderful wife got me these for Christmas a couple years ago. These are called, I don't know, in the restaurant industry where I worked for years, that we call them Lexons. I don't know, but these things are cheap and they're wonderful. They stack. They have measuring units on the side of them. So this is what the hot sauce is going to go into. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. I'm going to set this aside. This is the next one, and then I do have one more. I'll show you guys this one real quick. This one I'm really excited for. Look at that dirty dog right there. Ooh. That's all habanero. This one is going to be rough. We got some Scotch bonnets in there. We got some Thai chilies, and we got some habaneros. And ooh, that one's going to be spicy. Okay. All right, back to it. Oh, yes. All right. Okay. This stuff is going to be so good. I'm going to get this mixed up a little bit, and then I'm going to start bottling it. And then I'll get to a portion of the video where we're going to do the actual pickling today. But I figured if I was going to make this video, these have been sitting on the counter for a while, I might as well get on top of getting these bottled up, because I got peppers in the garden. I got hot peppers in the greenhouse right now. I mean, we're about to be ready to go on the following season. So the least I can do is bottle up last season's hot sauce. Oh. One of the other cool things about Lexon, right? Now I know exactly how much hot sauce I got here. What are we at? What are we looking at here, guys? Just over 2 quarts. 2 quarts of hot sauce. I can get a few bottles out of that. Alright. Okay. So, nothing crazy here. Turkey baster. I got a few of these hot sauce bottles left. I'm going to bottle up what I can in these hot sauce bottles, and then the rest of it's going to go into pint mason jars, and that's okay. Oh, look at that. Give this a little stir. It's got a really beautiful consistency. Look at that. We're rolling. We're rolling, guys. Guys and gals and friends and anybody who's watching the channel. This is pretty exciting. You know, I don't know what happened. I just YouTube has been such a useful tool for me for so long. You know, I mean, it's just, if you don't know how to do something, you can find somebody that not only knows how to do it, but has made a video on how to do it and put it on YouTube already. I mean, it's just incredible. You know, I think about a great example is like I love chainsaws, but I didn't grow up using chainsaws. I didn't use a chainsaw until I was a teenager for the first time, and you know, I didn't know anything about small engines, and so when I got into chainsaws, basically every single thing that I've ever learned about chainsaws, I learned on YouTube. You know, I learned from Buck and Billy Ray Smith, and from Tin Man Saws, and Wrangler Star, and Iron Horse, and, you know, I mean, I love those guys' channels, and so as I've been watching YouTube channels over the last few years, you know, I was watching the Tradesman channel, and it dawned on me, like, hey, you know, if this guy, who's just a regular old guy, can make a YouTube channel and has so much to offer the world, you know, maybe my experience in life and what I've done in the past and the little bit of knowledge that I've picked up along the way might be useful to someone else. So, you know, here you have it. We got Evergreen Organics. I'm so excited to be able to do this channel. You know, I'm not really much of an expert on anything, but I've gotten to learn some really cool stuff about organic farming in my life, and so here we are. I'm trying to pass a little bit of it on, you know. The 2 people that I learned more about farming than anybody else are Mark Anderson from Sunny Sky Farm and Chaz Self from Grassway Organics. Those are the guys that I've learned everything from. And so, you know, Mark is who I learned vegetable CSA farming from, and that guy is an absolute guru. I mean, he was way before his time. You know, he started his CSA farm in 1996, way before anybody was doing CSA. You know, he, you know, don't quote me, but I believe he read the book Farms of Tomorrow and said, hey, I want to farm like that. And so, he's retired now, but he had a CSA farm for, God, I don't know, I was with him for 5 years. And so I think from 2010 through 2014, I want to say, something like that. You know, I was there. I worked for 3 years full time as his right-hand man and intern. And you know, I got to learn from the best. I'm so grateful for my time that I spent at Sunny Sky Farm. I did not grow up knowing how to garden or vegetable farm or anything like that, and you know, I got to learn it all from him. He was the best. So here we are. You know, I think Mark used to make this carrot habanero hot sauce it wasn't fermented, but man, it was to die for. And in a few years, we grew poinsettias, which are like a cousin to the habanero. I might be mispronouncing that, but, you know, I got to first see where you grow, you know, super hot peppers in a hoop house. That was from Mark. He taught me how to do that. You know, we would grow spinach for the very, very beginning of the CSA boxes, you know, so we could have spinach in our first CSA box. We would grow spinach in this, like, 20-foot long, you know, real tall cold frame that he had built, and then we would fill that sucker with super hot peppers, and those things would grow, you know, massive. and I just thought that was the coolest thing, and so that's what I have in my backyard right now, is a greenhouse full of super hot peppers. That is scrumdiddlyumptious, you guys. So I'm gonna throw some lids on these, and then we'll grab some pint mason jars. Okay, so all I had was 7 of those fancy dancy hot sauce bottles. So for the rest of it, I'm just gonna use pint jars. I don't know why I grabbed 5 pints, because obviously you can tell from the Lexon that I have 1 quart left, which 2 pints makes a quart. So I can probably use the other pint jars, though I do want to process that habanero one. That one is going to be spicy, but not nearly as spicy as ones I've done in past years. For a couple years I grew Carolina Reapers, and the hot sauce I made was so hot, no one would eat it. So, as much as I love growing Carolina Reapers, man, they are a prolific, super hot pepper plant. Those plants get huge and heavy with peppers, but they're so hot, no one will eat it. So I'm not growing Carolina Reapers this year. The hottest thing I'm growing is like those, I don't remember the exact variety, it's those like the red Jamaican habaneros. I haven't grown those before. I grew the yellow habaneros, the Scotch bonnets. I grew those last year, yeah, because they're in there. But so I'm growing the red ones this year, and it's as hot as we're going this year is Thai chilies and the red habaneros. So look at that. So I've got jars to give away. I've got plenty for me for the next few months. I still have some. I think I have some in the fridge here yeah. Still have some here. This stuff is it's outstanding. Can't get enough of it. Alright, I thought I'd squeeze you guys in here a little bit closer so we can get a little bit better of a look at what the heck is going on here. So, this is the one, that just beautiful habanero. Now this one is going to be a little rough. I probably should have gloves on for this, but I'm not that smart, so here we go. We got some onions in the top. Gotta get out of there. There we go. Now I believe the other ones I had already blended in a blender, but this one, gosh, it's been so long since I made this stuff, it's hard for me to remember. This one I think I did not blend, so it might be a little bit tougher to run through the food mill here. So I'm just gonna give this a try. We'll see how it goes. It's already squirting and spraying everywhere. Probably should have some goggles or safety glasses on. I don't know if any of you have ever gotten habanero in your eye before, but not a good time. Not a good time at all. Well, we're going. It's happening. Now, I hope I don't have to run this stuff through the blender first. But we might. We'll see how this goes. Looks like it's going alright so far. What do you guys think? Sorry for all this this table that I have here. We keep our all of our dinner plates and stuff in the bottom of it. Allison and I both have a background in working in restaurants, and so we have a very, very small place that we live in, and so we kind of designed our kitchen based around how commercial restaurants have their kitchens. So since they're professionals and they seem to be the most efficient, here we go. Okay, look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Just gonna keep going. I'm really kind of excited. I just went with Allison to like a new local, pretty cool taco spot in the city, and the owner had made some of his own hot sauce, and I asked them if they were interested in buying any of this. they said absolutely they would be, so I think I might actually take a sample of it down to them and see if they want to purchase a little bit of it. Now, Allison and I have joked a little bit about starting our own hot sauce company. I really like the name Dirty Dog, so we've joked about starting the Dirty Dog Hot Sauce Company, and we've come up with a bunch of silly names for our hot sauces. I'm gonna pour this in our trusty Lexon, and we'll see how much we actually got here. Give me a little bit of an idea of how many jars I need. Looks like, what do we got there, guys? Like 1.5 quarts, you think? Should be just perfect for a couple of jars. See if I can't get these kind of somewhat even here. I love it. It has that beautiful orange color. Oh, we might have a little more. I think we can do one more jar. Let me grab it real quick. There we go. Oh man, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close, friends. I think that's just gonna have to be close enough there. Perfect. And this one will go in the fridge right away. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, perfect. Alright, I'm going to get this cleaned up a little bit, and then we are going to start making pickles. Alright, on to the main course. We are going to start making our brine fermented pickles. So I've got a few of these half-gallon mason jars here. These are the ones that I had my hot sauce in. That was why I actually wanted to bottle up that hot sauce. Because during the pandemic, you couldn't find half-gallon mason jars anywhere. You could find them on Amazon, but they were like $15 a piece. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have money to spend $15 on a half-gallon mason jar. So I got these beautiful salad turnips at the farmer's market this morning. I do want to show you guys something real quick. If you buy bunches of carrots or radishes or salad turnips, any of these vegetables that come bunched together with green tops, when you get them back home to your house, the first thing that you got to do is take these green tops off. These green tops will wick all of the moisture away from the actual root vegetable that you want to keep in your refrigerator, and that's how you end up with soggy, floppy carrots. That's how you end up with soggy radishes. So what I do right away when I get home, first thing is I cut the tops off of mine. Now you can take salad turnips and you can cut them in half and put them in like a Lexon like I had, or a Tupperware container or a jar, and submerge them in water and put them in your refrigerator, and they will keep forever. Now not actually forever, but they'll keep for quite some time. Compost bin here. And this stuff will just go straight into the compost. Okay, so I've got these beautiful salad turnips. Salad turnips make really incredible pickles. I like to quarter mine. You can cut them however you want. I would recommend probably you don't leave them whole. But I don't know, Dan always quartered his, and that's why I do mine that way. I'm just going to start adding stuff to these clean jars. And once we get them all stuffed full of vegetables to the top, we're going to pour our brine over them, and that'll be that. The other thing you can do if you don't have a knife is you can, for whatever reason, you can just twist the greens off of the top of them. And actually, I think carrots keep better if you twist the tops off than if you cut the tops off. If you leave that little nub of carrot at the top, I think that's how they store the longest. And that's how we did it at Sunny Sky, is we would actually top our carrots by hand. We didn't use a knife. So, I'm going to get just a few salad turnips in these jars. And we'll get moving on to the next one now. I've got a bunch of different stuff I want to stick in here. I think the next thing I'm going to put in is going to be some onions that I just harvested from the garden. Now, I want to show you guys these onions. It's pretty cool. So, check these bad boys out. So these onions were actually planted last year. Now, I don't know how many people know this or not. Excuse me. I don't know how many people know this, but onions are perennial. And they flower every other year. And so, if you, for whatever reason, your garden gets away from you and you don't get around to harvesting your onions, it's not the end of the world. You can absolutely leave your onions over winter, and you can harvest them when they start to sprout up in the spring as green onions. You can leave them and you can let them turn into walking onions, which is kind of a cool thing. I've got some walking onions outside right now, and I at some point I'm going to do a video on it because, you know, for commercial farming, it's probably not very practical to try to do walking onions, but if you're just a gardener and you want to have onions that you come and harvest out of your own garden, it's really a cool thing. So, just going to keep running here. We're going to put some green onions in these too. Yeah, this is pretty exciting. So, I just ended up with more onions that I knew what to do with this last year, and I had a bunch of small ones, and my wife and I were getting married, and just, a lot of stuff got away from me this last year. My garden was really, really pitiful. So, I said, you know what, we're going to try walking onions, and so that's what we did. We've got a bunch of onions from last year, and you know what, they're doing great. They're doing great this year. And here we are, pickling last year's onions, fresh as can be. So, get a couple of these thrown in here. And then, one thing that I'm a little interested in seeing how it works is, okay, so this is the flower. This is the main stem. I'm going to try pickling this. This is pretty hard. I haven't tried eating one before, but I'm going to try cutting it into just small little pickly bite-sized pieces, and we'll see how well it turns out. It's kind of one of the cool things about doing fermentation like this, is it's like there's no set right or wrong way for doing it. I mean, like, all you're trying to do is create this environment where you have the right bacteria that's doing the fermenting instead of things rotting, and really, as long as you follow that loose guideline, the sky's the limit to what you can do here. That guy. Alright, we got a few here, and I'm not going to get too crazy with the green onions in there because I've got plenty of other stuff that I want to put in here, but we'll get a few in here. I like how stiff these are. I think it's going to turn into a really nice, crispy little pickled onion. Give it some good crunch. Really looking forward to that. And onions are just one of those things. It's like, if you're pickling, you gotta have onions in there. You gotta. So, here we go. Give this a try. Do I want all these in there? I don't think so. I want that. Okay. I think I did get a little bit of green garlic from the farmer's market today. That's going to go in here, along with some garlic scapes. My wife just actually went and harvested some garlic scapes for us to make this video a few minutes ago. So our scapes are basically all ready. I don't know, we just, I'd rather just get it all done, get them all harvested, than forget about it and end up with, a bunch of flowering garlic that produces tiny little bulbs. We don't have a ton of garlic. I'm hoping to, in the next couple of years, expand on our seed garlic. I would like to, if I'm actually going to start a garlic operation though, I would like to have my varieties separated so I know what the heck I'm growing and what the heck I'm selling. Right now I've got kind of a hodgepodge of different garlics that I picked up from the farmer's market because we started our garden in the back in 2020 during the pandemic, and you could not get seeds for anything, much less seed garlic that year. So we just picked up what we could from the farmer's market, and that has been our seed garlic. It's done pretty well for us. It's all stiff neck. Alright, next up we're going to throw these garlic scapes in here, and I might cut them down a little bit. I might leave them whole. I don't really quite know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I think we'll just go something like that. Nothing too crazy. Just get them stuffed in the jars. It's going to be exciting. I am really excited for pickled garlic scapes. You know, you can use these for whatever you want. Eating them, making Bloody Marys. Pickled garlic scapes are so good. I was thinking about making some garlic scape pesto this year, but my basil plants just aren't quite big enough, and I don't want to start hacking them off yet. I know by the end of the season I'm going to have basil coming out my ears when I have so much of it, but my plants are only about, I don't know, a foot tall right now, and I don't want to start chopping off my basil yet. There's always time to make pesto. I'm sure at some point I'll do a video on making pesto. I'm really excited on doing some of these kitchen videos. You know, I absolutely love food. My entire world has revolved around food ever since I, started working as a teenager. So I'm really excited to make some of these videos about food and how to deal with garden vegetables, all that fun stuff. Alright, check it out, guys. We're going to start with some of this beautiful garlic I got from now, where we are here in the Midwest, we have a lot of Hmong farmers, and they produce just incredible produce. We are really fortunate to have Hmong farmers here. There we go. I think I ended up buying a bunch of this stuff, so let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I got six bulbs I got total from the farmer's market. I think it was 6 bulbs for $6 or something. I mean, it was just like, just so affordable. Ooh, all this garlic and onions making my nose tickle a little bit. Alright, friends. I managed to get, I just decided to go with 4, was it 4? Yeah, I went with 4 bulbs of green garlic. You know, I figured with the garlic scapes, the green garlic, I mean, those suckers are going to be garlicky enough, right? So, I think I picked up some really beautiful dill from the farmer's market, as my dill got planted late. My dill is like, I don't know, an inch tall right now. It should coincide pretty well with the cucumbers we've got going, so I'm excited for that. But I think I'm just gonna add a little dill. I mean, like, is it really pickling if you don't put dill in there? You know, dill is just so crucial. There's a couple things to me that just remind me of summertime. One is the smell of tomato plants, and 2 is a salad with dill in it. I just can't get enough of it. That fresh tomato season, that is what I look forward to every year. I mean, if you asked me what my favorite food was, it would not take me any thinking to tell you that a garden fresh tomato is my absolute favorite thing to eat in the entire world. You know, there's a reason that of the 5 French mother sauces, one of them is tomato. I mean, it's just doesn't get any better. So, okay, looks like we got a little dill in there, you know, I can get a little more in this one. I have had a bunch of learning curves and technical difficulties with this camera today. This is not going to be the highest quality video, however, I got my jars filled, and off camera I mixed my salt brine and filled up these jars. Now, literally all it is 3 tablespoons of salt to a quart of water. It's preferable that you use non-chlorinated water, so if you have tap water, filter it. However, if you don't do that, I don't think it's the end of the world. Anyways, what I'll do then is I'll show you guys real quick. I've got, you can get these really cheap on Amazon. You can go to like any local fermentation store. There's a local store here in our town that actually has them. And so all you do is put these like one-way fermenters, these airlocks. They're used for making wine. So this is the only way how you set it up. I just put salt water in these. However, I think you're supposed to put like grain alcohol in these to make sure that they stay sterile. I've used salt water. I've never had any issues with it. They do get a little funky if you leave them on just like this for a really long period of time, but otherwise I've had really good luck with just using salt water. So there you have it. Those are going to be some really bomb pickles. So thanks for watching. Alright guys, so I inadvertently filled up my SD card and I lost a bunch of stuff that I was recording with some of the many glitches that happened today. So anyways, after I put the dill in, all I did was put some asparagus in here, and then that's when I added my my salted water, and that was it. I'm going to leave these sit out on the countertop for a couple of weeks, and I've got some other stuff that I filmed kind of explaining this a little bit better, but here you go. It's really pretty basic. So one other thing I want to mention is you want to store these in a space that's cool and dry and outside of direct sunlight. The warmer it is where you store them, the faster they will ferment. So I keep an eye on them and I watch them bubble up, and it's just like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever brewed wine before, but you'll start to see as they start to ferment, they'll start to form bubbles and you'll start to see a lot of activity going. And then once that activity starts to settle down, that's when I actually, these lids, they come with little plugs. So after they're done, I can pull the airlocks out of them and stick a little plug in there, and then these can go in the refrigerator and they're ready for eating. I'm so excited about these. Oh, these are going to be tasty. Anyways, thanks for watching again.